enti eya no kre se omampanyi Nana Akuffo Addo governor no like autocratic campaigner eya no kre so wono no de obeka ene ye adwuma se enye party members no nko a ene zuro no se extend eba government employers eso ana de menti na me ka sei aha OBBN media bomodin so be subscribe o be like na afin so wa share amaye ye mampanyi dada John Dramani Mahama akwa piem ewo ahafo region kra ye frɛ no dade so aba eso na ensempi ana koso ewo ho edi kan general mosquito ene ba be kasae odi kan kasa fa allowances a wo mo penso mbaaye wo mu twema ene ye mampanyina wote so ebaaye wosade baaye no nurses no kwampo kire mu se wo mo allowances enya maaye anase ache wo mo nsanye de enkaye na when a general mosquito ekire mu ama yete asese de ntia wo mu twema wo mu ye ni student loan no ene se wo man kasa nya allowances na wo mu student a ewu school mu ho ene wo ma wo mu ba wo mo doso dodo zika no enso wo mo ene se wo mu ye ni loan na ene we kokoje na ochine bi no ochia fufuro nso so ebetimi akwakoje we beboa ama wo matimi esisi enwuma ntinipa no enwie school no na chese na dwuma esi ho etwen ono na eko oboa menso meboa.
The reason being that when you are getting into a budget season, the government has so much money to pay allowances, and so admission is based on or was based on the amount available to pay student allowances, and that was restricting entry into training colleges of nurses. So we decided prudently that it will be better to convert the allowances into student loans, which will be available to every student, so that that hindrance that became an impediment for further expansion of admission could be removed, and then there will be opportunity to employ more of you. Somebody came from somewhere and then misinterpreted our intentions and told all of you that we were the most wicked government that ever visited this planet Earth. And so that was why we were converting the allowances into student loans. And that vote and changes, they will come not only to pay the allowances, but to even increase the quantum of allowances. And everywhere we went, into the colleges where we established, and we found the need to create jobs for you, the youth of Ghana, you turned against it. The same way that the Israelis turned against Moses, who took them from Egypt.
Sa ena omampanyi dada John Dramani Mahama enso babe kasa to aso ese ono nso de ogene ho a onte ase ne se oman mu ha ye wo freedom of speech enti debenti na government workers aban dwumayefo se bibi ko bone anase bibi tu achem ewo wo ma dwumam anase bia ya wo mu ye adwuma na wo mutimi mie wo ma no enkasa, especially teachers. Wamo se bibi ukoboni na sumbie wama no ekoko kape. Ida se yebe yiwadi. Ana se suku na achira adi womno. Yebe transfer edi wako baby a wompe. Eni kwa nse sa mom ena eye adwuma. Obia wase okana dwen na bra. No ni ye mampanyi no. No mo obia kwan. Ema ni kana dwen wa bra wono onye hwe. Ebi mu nso no ye exams ye wasi no. Se ye say Ghana ankasa ene setting wasi questions enti no ye danyane a de o mampanyi adwen be kire no ene na beje kire ni NPP fo na adwen be kire wo mo say we say busa question we sa question ni kire gu paper so de brem kra no say ye nka West Africa fo hu biemo ni ye se kane no ni ene Nigeria, Liberia, West African countries ene che exams ba kon which are Tembiana Ghana for etimi bo modern edi Nigeria for so enkunim na so say ye pese ye comparison entimi enye enti no yankase academic performance atiko akofom kra ye mampanyi dada Mahama ene ka so wo boa me so meboa video no ewo ho momye nkonkohwe video no emra.
This is the hallmark of a visionary leader. We know he will be president again and do more for Mother Ghana. May God bless you.
Things I want to comment on is that in any democracy in any country, the right to free speech is very important and free expression. When you suppress it, when things go wrong, you don't do. At the time I was president, we allowed people to speak freely. And so if things were not going well in schools, the headmasters, the teachers could complain and could talk. Unfortunately, that changed when the Akuffo Addo government came in. It was a very autocratic, vindictive government. And so if you were a teacher or a headmaster and things were not going well in your school or in the educational system, if you talked about it, they would either sack you or they would transfer you. And so it instituted a culture of fear amongst public servants. And so even when things were going wrong, they could not voice it out. Look at this free SHS. A lot of things were not going very well with the implementation.
Yes.
And yet any headmaster who complained was victimized. And so today we all can see the results. The food is not good. The children complain every day about the quality of food that is given to them. The quality of education is falling. And you have an education minister who is tickling himself and laughing. He sets his own questions, marks his own script, and then praises himself for doing well. Today, there's no basis for comparison between our children and our peers in the sub-region. We all used to write the same SHS exam. We, Nigeria, Gambia, Sierra Leone, Liberia, we used to write the same exam. Today, this government has taken us out of the West African secondary school examination system. And so Ghana is setting its own questions, marking its own script. So there's no basis for comparing our children today and 2016. Because in 2016, we're doing the West African School Certificate exam. And we're competing with Nigeria and beating them. Ghana used to come first in WASI all the time. Today we can't compare with Nigeria because we're not writing WASI. We're writing the Ghana's school leaving. We mark ourselves high and we say, oh, our children are doing better than they did in the past. You are taking yourself and laughing.
Aha, and a brother, I'm crying, a mamma, dear Manuesi. Nasaka will say, aha, you'll be in media. So our mamma can't be saying, who see the video no tuma when sanka the so be me a subscription button so na fe when me bell no so select or am I the video tuma when ni pa odi kan ya won sabeka e di no ye ela heavens me so ko so like share me mbobo hu e wo comment section e da masima kra mu na